We are live. Boy, I'm late. I'm never late. I wasn't looking at the clock. Sorry about that. Um, don't know if there's anybody in here yet, anyways. But thanks for dropping in today. I was gonna just do a quick morning live. It's been a while since I put anything out, and just a lot been going on. Some different things to talk about here. Um, Looking for a little help if anybody's interested. And the trucking industry, as always, is all over the place, schizophrenic mess. So yeah, you early risers here today get to join me, and we're going to talk about all that. What the heck is the title of this anyway? Morning live, help wanted, new trucks, most important things in your trucking business. Yeah, I just had a few things on my mind about that. 5 most important things, and I've been away from YouTube for a while. Haven't been watching a lot, but I just kind of jumped back in and seen what some other people are talking about, and I'm can't say not that I don't understand, but I disagree. I disagree. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Who we got in here this morning? The Grumpy Trucker. Thanks for coming in. CJ Hudson, Jerome Jones, Big Money Man. Good morning. Thanks, buddy. Cents per mile. Mr. Lowlife himself, Paul Harris, John Connolly, Don Schonger. Good morning. Greg Zimmer. Stranger. We got to talk there, Greg. It's been too long. Grade 8 Transportation. Good morning. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Cents per mile. Just warming up. My Peter. Ooh, better get to work. You don't want to put a cold Peter to work. Uh, you blow a gasket. D Compton, 84. What's going on? So yeah, I picked up. Well, I got some open trucks. I talked the other day. Ash's live had a couple open trucks. Put the word out, looking for a couple drivers. If anybody is looking for, I'd say a good opportunity on becoming an owner operator, or just switching, pivoting here a little bit, getting into a different opportunity. Have a couple trucks to put out for, I guess you call it lease purchase. I hate calling it that because it's really not. It's kind of just purchase. uh, no fancy balloons and all that. No massive inflated payments. Um, because they need drivers doing. I primarily need help with some reefer work. So if anybody's interested, let me know. We can get into that a little bit more. Talk about. Well, let's do that now. I had two trucks last time we talked. A 2015 Mac available. If anybody wants to buy it outright, we're looking at 25,000, 640,000 miles. Got a new turbo, new injectors, really good truck, APU. But if they want to at least purchase it, we can put somebody in that at a really low payment. It's a great way to get started with a good mechanically sound truck. Um, so if anybody's looking to get into something like that, had a couple people inquire, but nobody's spoken for it yet. And until somebody speaks for something, it's still open. And then had a 2015 Cascadia with really good shape. You guys meticulous. I think we have a driver in that now. He's going to start next month. Already committed to it, so we're working on that. And I just bought. I need more trucks. Like I need a hole in my head, but I just found one that I just couldn't pass up on. Great price. 2018 Cascadia. Tri-pack APU, auto greaser, auto oiler, um, DT12 transmission, 470,000 miles, and it has full factory warranty out to 700,000 miles. So that was a big plus. And I'll be putting 10 new tires on it. I don't want to sell that one outright. I don't want it to leave the company. I'd really like it to be mine, but just not going to happen. So I got that one open for anybody looking for an opportunity to, if you're a first time owner operator or just want to get into a much better deal, good opportunity, and haul reefer freight. I need particularly somebody to. I lost a guy to oil field type work, and it's going to take me hiring two people to replace him because he was a runner. Go from the Midwest to the East Coast, Mid Atlantic, and then haul multi-stop reefer freight back to the Midwest or possibly the Northwest or Southwest. But good opportunity, pretty decent money, especially in this market. And no, I can't broker it out. No, it's not power only. The truck has to have my name on it. So those are kind of what I got out there for opportunities right now. If anybody's interested, email me DIYsemi@yahoo.com. Um, got that new one in today, getting DOT'd, and then next week I'll take it, get tires on it. Then I'm gonna take it, have the whole interior detailed, and just go through it real well. So it'll be ready to roll. But yeah, that's that's about it there. So we have two trucks open. And I'm gonna lose another guy next month that's gonna go do. Um, it's gonna still work here, but do a different project, a different kind of freight, on and off. So I'll need to fill that gap too. So I really need somebody to fill in on that lane, on that route. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Who else stopped in here? Let's see. Oh, CDN Freight Broker. You're the top 10 hardest working people in industry. I don't know about that. Probably the top 10 most tired. I'm just beat up lately, man. Just and been in a little bit of a foul mood the last couple of weeks. So I'm like, hey, it's best not to go on YouTube. But I think I'm over that. Snorlord's in here. Good morning, buddy. We haven't talked in a while. We should talk soon. Good morning from Denver, Randy Curry. Good morning, hero. I'm no hero. Uh, you know who the heroes are? Uh, this is part of what's got me cranky the last couple of weeks. Um, 9/11 just happened. Well, the anniversary, whatever. And rather than be sad, I really get really angry around that time because I see, watch these things and how things were back then. And we didn't learn anything. We didn't change anything. We're making the same mistakes all over again. It's totally disrespectful for the people that died. You know who the real heroes are, man? Them freaking firefighters and those police officers that died that day. For what? They didn't have to, and they did. That pisses me off. And then you get some idiot out here who's, oh, you're a hero for, you know, uh, coming out and standing up for, if you're trapped in the wrong body, you're so courageous and a hero. Bullshit. A 9/11 firefighter is a hero. That's who a freaking hero is. Or these military people that died. Everybody that signed up the next on September 12th to go into the military. We so are just confused and lost and ungrateful and disrespectful to to people. Anyway, that's my soapbox for the morning. That's what's got me upset. But anyway, Mark the mailman. Hey buddy, thanks for coming in. Paul Harris in the house. Uh, fancy balloons are so much fun. I got no fancy balloons. Shannon Thomas was in Shannon Thomas's live for a little bit yesterday, just having a good old time. Check that out. It's a 4-hour live and was sober the whole time. Well, maybe not till that end part right there. Morning, beautiful day in Athens, Tennessee. A good morning to you. Wish I was in the Midwest would help. My pleasure to be on a great team. It is a great team. We got some good people, man. We really do. Um, you need a hand cleaning up that mulch mess. I'm your man. Ooh, I do. I was supposed to be this weekend renting a stump grinder, and I was going to grind some stumps all weekend. But now tomorrow I got to go haul some freight down to Indiana. I won't be back till Saturday night, so it doesn't pay to rent the machine because I won't be here anyway. But I'm thinking probably next weekend we'll be out doing some stump grinding. Rock and Robin, yes, and on 9/11, Biden makes a deal to swap prisoners with Iraq and give Iraq $6 billion. Enough. Frickin' enough. In this whole, why don't I just sign over my bank account to Ukraine and get it over with? I'm tired of that too. Just enough. What's up, fellas? Hope everyone's having a great morning. Thanks for coming in. Paul Hair shippers and receivers that have signs in multiple languages, that pisses me off. I stopped going to Lowe's because of that. They got like 3 different languages on their front door. That's enough for me. English only. If they can't convey information in English, don't serve the driver. Well, it's the law in trucking. Other places it's not, but in trucking it's the law. It's in the green book about English. So I gave up on trucking gig, went back to HVAC. Ooh, you're gonna be up in them sweaty attics in a 120-degree attic in the summertime. Is that better than trucking? Ugh. Ryder, hello everyone. Thanks for coming in. So we talked about a little bit about some help wanted stuff. I don't know if anybody's interested or not, but hey, you know, my truck payments are monthly. We do things like adults over here. Adults can handle their money. We work on that, and my monthly payments are about the size of a weekly payment at Prime or another mega carrier. So that's how you start off. Not with a $5,000 payment, right? Maybe a 15, 17, $1,800 payment, depending on the truck. I think my lowest payment ever was like 950, and I got paid off that truck in like 6 months. It was crazy. Rent a Barretto stump grinder. I haul lots of them. Okay, I haven't seen. I don't know what kind they got at the rental center. Kind of at their mercy. Good morning from Middle Nevada. Whew. Is that on the moon? That seems pretty remote. Trey Lincoln, hi DIY. Thanks for coming in. Will Bond, what's up, DIY and crew? How's everyone doing? Let's keep America rolling. Couldn't agree more. I'm gonna do some rolling myself. I'm going on a trip tomorrow. Gonna break out the orange truck. And uh, 2 days ago, I was stepped outside and I looked in my yard and I said, "There's 5 trucks sitting in my yard. They need to go. They need to move. They need to be out of here." So, got one of them out of here yesterday. Two of them I took over and dropped off last night for DOTs. Those are the two of the 3 trucks for lease purchase, and then at least my orange truck and the classic. Every time I go to start thinking about I'm going to do something on the classic, something else breaks. So can't keep up the trailer repairs here lately. It's just one thing after another. Um, go back over that help wanted stuff. I'm looking. If you don't mind, just start from the beginning here, the very beginning. I covered the basics, and then just rewatch it. Maybe I'll repeat it a little later, but um, and then the pay is uh, we have few different things. So some guys here own their own trailer. Some of them are at least purchasing a trailer, so their percentage is higher. And then it's different too if you're just use my trailer and I dispatch you, or if you use I give a couple extra percent for dispatching yourself. And then I typically kind of help out with that too. I need somebody in this customer rotation here. I have some other drivers, but they like to go do their own thing, and that's fine. But I need some right now to fill in on I guess you could say regular customer freight, stuff like that. So yeah, Mikey Nine Toes at 750 monthly payments on my truck. There you go, there you go. That's making money right there. My truck got wrecked. I'm driving a Cascadia identical to Mr. Cash today. Ooh, was you the one to wreck that truck? Are we talking Mississippi Truck Wash? Or non-denominational lightning? If you were in Shannon's live yesterday, you get that joke. Ryder looking for a truck again in between less than 500,000 miles emissions truck or less than 900 pre-emissions. Can't decide. Well, you could find a good truck in either price point there. You just gotta look it over, see how it was cared for, and what kind of condition it's in. So, I mentioned that I've been away from YouTube, come back and watching some different things, and it's still the same old of trucking so bad it sucks. You can't make it, getting ripped off, blah blah blah. And I'm just not seeing that. Like we're I'm we've made a hard push to get off the load boards largely. Don't get me wrong, we still book a fair bit of freight off the load boards, but just working to do these regular things. My potato season has started here. We're doing that. And then, I talked a while back about partner carriers, and we're working the hell out of that. And that has been great. It's been great for us, and it's been great for the other side too, because they were getting inundated with freight. And with us helping, they don't have to give it back. So that improves their standing with their customer, opens up new opportunities for them, and opens up new opportunities for us. And we are very much enjoying. I have 2 different carrier partners, I call them. Technically, whatever they are, they are. And we help each other out. They've helped me with some things. I've helped them with some things. And it's been absolutely wonderful. And I encourage more people to do that. And the opportunities are out there. You just got to be the kind of person that can see them and go find them. Uh, so we're not experiencing that. Oh, everything sucks. Going to go out of business. Screw it. Obviously fuel's going up. That hurts. If you're getting a little bit better rates, regular lanes, it doesn't quite hurt as bad. Sure does hurt in the reefer business, with burning all that expensive reefer fuel. But we've been able to get a little bit of a bump up in rates on that stuff to kind of help out with it. So that's been good. Um, let's see here. Ryder says, okay, Channel 19. Do we run under your insurance or get our own? It'd be under my authority. You have your own bobtail and physical damage, but it's just like leased onto a carrier. Well, it is. That's what it is. A lease agreement and everything. It was a Klamath Falls Jersey barrier bash. Ooh, that Klamath Falls will get you every time. Were you on your way to see a John Wick movie? Is that where you were going? Cheap freight hauler, glad to see you're growing and prospering. Yeah, I need help. Needing help is a good problem to have. It is. So that's something else I see is my problems are the opposite problems. Is seems like everybody else on YouTube or most of the people, um, their problems are cheap freight, no freight, breakdowns, what have you. But everybody knows. We all knows what everybody talks about. My problems are on the complete opposite end of the pole. It's lack of help, trying every day to scramble to keep up. Um, had some challenges here lately, just keeping equipment moving with not major breakdowns, just regular maintenance stuff, and getting it done and keeping it on the road. We've all just been hustling. I have somebody down the street that's been helping me quite a bit and being really helpful with emergency repairs. Wheel bearings, seals. I needed some brakes like on the spot the other day, and I called him up at 7:30 in the morning. He's like, "Get it over here." We got it over there. It needed a four wheel brake job in a wheel seal. They had it done by uh, I don't know. They had it done like a half hour before the deadline for the guy to pick up his load. So it was great stuff like that. Just been going through it, and then just trying to keep up with freight. So that's what my issues are, and I've bought a lot of equipment lately, and it's been a cash flow struggle a little bit until that catches back up. You put two or three new drivers on the road, and if you don't factor, which I don't factor the carrier, you're waiting 30 days for three new drivers cash flow to come in. Meanwhile, you're paying them and paying for that equipment. So you're talking, if a driver is grossing 20,000 a month, it's $60,000 in cash flow. You're floating an additional, for 30 to 45 days until that money starts coming in, and then there's a 30-day kind of catch up period. So that's the challenges right now. I love Ukraine YouTube girl. What kind of Ukraine girl you been watching on YouTube? Our carrier has been growing in this market. Yeah, so it's flipped. A year and a half ago, you couldn't get trucks, you couldn't get trailers, you couldn't get drivers, but you could get freight coming out the wazoo. And now you can get trucks, you can get trailers, you can get drivers, and then freight is a challenge for most people. But if you did the right things, well, freight was hot. Got to know people, whatever. You got freight right now, so um, it's an opportunity for small carriers to grow. I feel like it's a good opportunity because equipment is you can steal equipment right now if you built those relationships too. Tolga, good morning. Thanks for coming in from halfway across the world. Orbicon had a ransomware attack and they are being held hostage 3 weeks so far, going to paper logs till a fix. Oh, jeez. Oh, good reason to go to paper logs. How about that? WCF Invader, hello, friend. Hello to you. May have to get out of your comfort zone. The opportunities are out here. Just have to work for it. Yeah, so that's a good segue. Let's use that segue into what's really got me wanting to talk about this today. Um, I just picked at random 5 things that I feel like are super important. And we'll say this we're not going to say for big carriers because that's a different situation. We're going to say for very small carriers like myself, like Snorlord's company, like you guys with 1, 2, 3 trucks. And some of it is probably not what you think, but they are things that I have found to be true. Going through this experience over the last three and a half, however many years of expanding, and then 20 years prior to that of just being in business, and even for that first 20 years, not really having the expansion of learning of what I have over the last 3 years in doing this. It's brought a whole lot of things to light, made me think very differently. Um, so let's say five most important things in your trucking business if you want to be successful or build something and grow and be profitable and sustainable for the long term. Number one is efficiency, and you can take that. You could say fuel efficient truck, but it's more than that. It's efficiencies, absolutely fuel efficient equipment, because once you get, well, even with one truck, but even so more so when you start growing to 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 20 trucks, 50, 100 trucks, competition becomes a bigger part of your business than it did when you were at one truck. So if you're up to 10 trucks and now you're like, okay, I want to go and talk to this customer about possibly getting some contract freight. Well, you're no longer calling a broker for freight and just, negotiating with a broker. Now you're in competition with other carriers your size about, where can you price that freight at? And if you're out here at 4.5 miles per gallon and not running an efficient operation, you may not be able to bid that freight as competitively as if you were running a very efficient operation. So you may not be able to secure that kind of business for yourself. All right. And even if you can match price points with somebody else, why not be more efficient than them and take more to your bottom line and put more money in your pocket, which enables you to grow. You could outgrow your competition and even be in a better position to provide better service to that customer, all because of efficiency, right? And then there's efficiencies in your time management, right? Having processes in place and procedures and policies to make and streamline your operation more efficiently. So, just one thing, such maybe 90-day inspections instead of once a year, so that truck is going through somebody's shop every 90 days, in catching things, small things before they become big things, and therefore when a truck does break, it's not down for as extended period of time. Um, which hurts your driver, it hurts your capacity, it hurts your cash flow, it hurts everything. Um, and then in the office, there's a lot you can streamline in the office. Maybe a lot of it comes to outsourcing, where if you're the head honcho, maybe your time is best spent um, negotiating freight, or maybe your time is best spent managing drivers. It's wherever your time is best spent needs to be where you spend your time, and the other things need to be streamlined so that maybe you don't have to participate in them as much. I hired some part-time office help. CDN will be happy to to finally hear that. Um, they were supposed to start Monday, but turns out came down with sick, and I said, "Don't come because I don't want you to make me sick. So give it like 4 or 5 days and then come, but don't come here sick because I don't want to get sick." Like, okay, no problem. So they're coming today at 10 o'clock to start because I need help in the office. I have for a while. It's just gotten to the point where I can no longer cover it up. It's become blatantly obvious to me. So that I should be able to put some of my energy other places then. And their first assignment is I need more spreadsheets, and I need um, some organizational charts, um, for equipment and drivers. Like a whole thing of that'll show me when DOT physicals are due, when truck DOTs are due, when PMs are due. Okay, so that's going to make me more efficient. I don't have to sit here and look at it every time, put energy into it every day. I just look at my chart, and there it is. So that's going to help me a lot, even though it seems like a very small thing. So efficiencies is a big one. Oh, thank you, Shannon Thomas, for $5 super chat. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Um, So that's number one is efficiency. And these are in no particular order. I happen to think one of them is more important than all the others, but we'll get to that. Number two, let's say good money habits. It has become blatantly obvious to me that you have to have good money habits in this, not only in your personal life, but it all carries over into your business. And if you ever watch somebody on YouTube, and this is nobody in particular, you guys will know, every person probably has their own person that they watch. They'll say, yeah, that's that guy. If you have bad money habits in your personal life, you're going to have bad money habits in your business life, and it's going to be tough. And just the poor education about money, you're going to get yourself into bad deals, maybe bad lease purchase deals, maybe the payments in line, but all this other stuff of, okay, I paid on it for 36 months, and now what do you mean I still owe $150,000 balloon payment? Well, if you didn't read that, right? Or you're bringing home, $3,000, $4,000 a week in payments, and you treat all that money like it's yours that don't belong to the truck. Well, that's not your money. That money belongs to the business, and then you should be paying yourself a salary or a paycheck out of that. And just good money habits, being frugal, you know, sitting down beforehand and saying, "Can I make a $1,400 a week payment?" Uh, Putting pen to paper, or is that just going to be burying me? Am I just driving my paycheck? Which to a certain extent, a lot of people are. Um, Using debt. Am I going to make $4,000 a week and save up that money and go out and buy a new Hellcat instead of paying my truck off early and setting myself up real nice for that next truck? That'll just be nothing but a money printing ATM because you maybe paid cash for it, or 50, 75% down. But you have to have that Cummins diesel Ram 3500 in a 40-foot camper or a Hellcat. Um, you got to ask yourself, can I get a hold of my personal life before I go and try this business thing? That's it buries a lot of people. It really does. Or this, I'm going to be an owner operator so I can pay more, earn more money because I got medical bills coming out my wazoo, or I got $70,000 in student loans and the truck will pay that off. That's not the truck's job. That's you pay yourself a salary and work on it, but that business money is not to be rated for personal use. Amazon striking. How about that? Um, know your numbers. Knowing it is true. It's a very important thing, but I feel it's cliche and everybody should know that by now. Unfortunately, they don't, but I feel like they should. And I'm trying to touch on some things that maybe people uh, haven't thought about yet. So number three, let's talk about number three of the most important things: versatility and the ability to adapt. So we as truck drivers are funny kind of people, right? We get these ideas in our head, and by God, we're right, and there ain't nobody going to convince us that we're wrong. You know, maybe you're a 30-year-old veteran of being out here trucking, and if you are, hats off to you. You've been through it. You put your time in. But even if you are, there's a lot of things you can learn and improve your business. Like, don't be resistant to change. Like, I don't like e-logs. I was around, I still don't. I think they're stupid and they suck. A lot of people love them. Um, I don't know that I'll ever come around to like e-logs, and most you older guys probably don't. Um, it's not that I'm not a fan of automated transmissions. I think they have their place, but I think everybody should have to learn how to drive a manual. It's good for you. But at the same time, there's technologies that can make you a lot of money. Um, I know you're probably stuck in your ways of wanting your old, mechanical cat, but in today's day and age, you really got to get 7, 8 miles per gallon because the business is changing, the world is changing. We're competing. We're in direct competition with these technologies. We're the humans are the weak link in some of that improvement, right? The technologies are out there for us to get 8.5, 9 miles per gallon, and we get in the way, right? We'll take aerodynamic truck and put big, air catching visors on them. you know, we screw a lot of that up. Uh, but it's part of being willing to change and adapt. The fourth one, and this is my number one. This is the one thing that has become the most evident to me over the last few years. And without this one, all the other things might not, I don't want to say matter, but a lot of them wouldn't even be possible. It's building relationships. Now, people can argue, no, the most important thing is getting a truck and a truck doesn't break down, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? When you build a relationship, a good relationship with a truck dealer, he will help you with these things. He will steer, he'll be like, don't buy that truck. And I've had it happen. Don't buy that truck over there. I'm telling you right now, don't even go look at it. Look at these three and forget about these five. Right. So right off the bat, that relationship saved you from getting into a junk truck. Right. Freight relationships. It is there's this great debate, not a debate, but I guess two schools of thought in trucking is which should come first, the freight or the equipment. So a lot of people think, well, I can't get freight until I go out and I have 5 trucks or I have 10 trucks. And then I'll get the drivers, and then I'll go looking for freight. And then the other side of it is I'm going to get freight, and then I'm going to grow into it and expand into more trucks. Which is the better way to do it? I have tried both, and I will tell you that it is better to have freight first. It is better. It makes the growth part easier, more sustainable, more affordable, and a little bit less scary. So, I mean, there are challenges to that along the way, like the position I'm in now, where, okay, have the freight. Now we don't have the drivers, or the drivers come and go. I'd still take this over the other way, having tried it both ways. Um, because you never feel doing it the other way, you just kind of never feel like you're ready, or you miss out on possibilities and opportunities. So I'm a proponent of doing it this way, of having the freight first. Building relationships, build the relationships with everybody. A banker that makes your business able to pivot faster, take advantage of opportunities, blah blah blah. Accountants, um, most of the drivers here, even if from out of state, switched over to using our accounting company uh, because they do such a fantastic job at a great price. And we can all call and talk to each other. I'll help them provide information, get things done. Uh, I pointed out earlier, relationship with a mechanic. Called him at 7:30 in the morning one day when he's already working on other stuff. Said, "Hey, I need a 4-wheel brake job, like right now." Said, "Get it over here. I'll pull this trailer out. Pull yours in." Relationships make things happen, man, and that's worth its weight in gold. It's worth its price in gold. So to me, it's number one. I can't imagine that most of the things that have happened that are good for us as a company would have happened over the last 3 years absent of us building relationships. Everything would have been more difficult and a struggle. Even just relationships we've built off of YouTube. So, you guys are aware of Paul. The relationship I've had with Paul has just been, even besides him going out and helping me find freight or whatever, just the conversations we have and the things that I learn from him and he learns from me. And then we take the two and put them together, and it's just, you know, wow, this has turned out to be something really good. We need to talk about this on YouTube. And then there's other people that y'all don't know about that have built relationships in that fashion. Uh, some off of YouTube, some not, that have just been changed everything. And you guys can get out and build those relationships for yourself also. So I could go on about the relationship thing forever and point out multiple instances, but you'll get tired of it. But I just can't tell you enough. Like that's it. That's it right there. Without that, can't imagine anything else really happens. um, Snorler's Randy Curry's in the house. Who else we got here? Shannon Thomas, thanks again for the super chat. CDN's true efficiency. The industry expects that larger you get, the lower rate you can offer. Right. Well, partly because the larger you get, the more competition becomes a part of your structure. Right. At one truck, I'm not trying to compete with somebody with 100 trucks. But when I get to 10 trucks, 'cause one truck, I'm probably likely using a lot of brokers. At 10 trucks, I might be starting to compete against other carriers of my size with 10 trucks, and that only gets bigger as you get bigger. So yeah, you're right. I stole your idea and started to do more regular DOT inspections. It's a great, and they're cheap. DOT inspections are pretty cheap. Brookville, PA to New Jersey border flooded with cheap trucks at the dealers. Yeah, trucks can be had for a song and a dance right now. They really can. Dirty Diesel, thanks for coming in. Ooh, Sterling, $5 super chat. Thank you. I didn't see that. Wazoo can be very spendy. It can. It can. Wazoo can cost you a lot of money. Oh, Shannon Thomas, appreciate it. $5 super chat. Also, channel member. Amen. Amen. Relationships. Teamwork makes the dream work. Ooh, love a good catchphrase. Love a good catchphrase. Where did I leave off? CDN Freight Broker. If y'all haven't checked out CDN's channels, get to know CDN. A lot of good information over there. Have you considered Trello.com to track your truck maintenance? Problem with Excel is the due dates don't show up on your calendar. Not easy to add notes. A good TMS can help. So I'm doing something else. I got in my ELD. I'm trying to get all of my assets entered into there, and then it'll track mileage and time, so that it'll give me pop-ups. I just haven't gotten it all entered yet, and that's something my helper's going to help me with. Uh, so I could check out that Trello though. I'll check that out too. I'm trying to. I have so many windows open on my computer every day that I just leave open because I use them all, and it's getting a little crowded up there. It's crazy. 7 Minnesota could. AUW might strike on Saturday. These auto unions. Like we talked about that a little bit yesterday. They want a 46% wage increase. Let me. I'm not going to get into that. I'll just get upset again. I'm not impressed with the auto union. Trucking with Cliff. Good morning. Thanks for coming in. James Clark. I have only one truck, but still have a TM system. I also hired a friend to handle my back office. That way, I don't have to use my time remembering all the important paperwork. Know my weakness. Yes, knowing. So there you go. Part of having efficiency is we talked about where your time is best spent. Then it's where are your weaknesses, and know your weaknesses, and then you can get rid of those, give them to somebody else, or find a way to improve on them. Maybe you can automate them. You know, that's that's entirely possible, very cheaply lately. Paul Harris driving a pickup truck with the tailgate open, it decreases efficiency. Mythbusters did a show on it, same as AC and windows closed. Trust the process. No visor add-ons. There you go. Snorler says we have a great TMS that tracks everything and is integrated with our ELD. Okay. Thanks again, Shannon Thomas, for super chat. Appreciate it. Jake, what do you use for bookkeeping, accounting? Thanks for your time. You're gonna be ready to make fun of me, okay? I I've done videos on it, and I really do it. I use an adding machine with tape and a filing system, and Microsoft Excel is a lot of what I do. And then, part of the reason I do it that way is, well, part of the reason I do the filing system and the tape like that. Go back into my way old videos. I show exactly what I do. If I ever get audited, it's right here. Oh, you want to see January of 2020 maintenance? Here you go. It's right here. All the receipts. Here's my spreadsheet where all the entries are made, how I keep the record. They're not going to look at that bit for too long before they realize this guy's got it together. There's nothing here. Let's move on to something else. And it also helps keep me organized also. And then the reason for Excel spreadsheets is I can tell them what I want them to do. I found a lot of Bookkeeping stuff just gives me a whole bunch of numbers that I don't care about, don't use, don't need. And then there's a whole bunch of things that I will need that are not there. So I'm like, well, I'm not good with Excel. My wife is good. My stepdaughter is even better. So I tell them, I'll draw it out on a piece of paper. Here's what I want on a spreadsheet. Want it to say how the calculations, I want the numbers to come out. And then you'll just sit down and hammer it out and done. And then I have the numbers, the exact numbers that I'm looking for. So, and I don't like to get too fancy with that. I want the basic numbers that I need and not a lot else because sometimes overanalyzing is a thing and too much information. And I want to focus on the bigger picture things that are important. And then over here, I got some more broke down stuff for when I want to look at that and really start looking at if something's out of whack, then I can go, okay, let's look at categories then and see which category is out of whack. It's just my preference. It takes, I will say, it does take a little bit more time, but it's how I like it. I need a driving job. Where are you at? I am in central Wisconsin, but I can hire in different states. Try not to hire out west. I don't have any freight out there, but upper Midwest, Great Lakes states, Northeast, Mid Atlantic. Um, you know, uh, give me a shout. Oh, by the way, yeah, I neglect one thing. I have a very good friend that has a medium-sized trucking company that needs drivers bad. Company drivers. He's a good guy to work for. Health insurance, all that stuff. And I think I've recently talked him into, hey, why don't you give the owner operator thing a try? So if I don't work out for you, hit me up, man. I got a friend that needs drivers and they run, Midwest. They kind of go all over the place. So he's really open, but he's just like, if they can write their own name and tie their own shoes, like I'll talk to him. He's like, they got a lot of freight and they need help. So hit me up on that also, DIYsim@yahoo.com. In fact, most people I would probably send there for, I can only hire so many people, only so many resources, but he can take on, several. So between the two of us, if you're looking to do something different or just an opportunity, not all of them are going to work out, but we'll talk to people. What do you use for bookkeeping and accounting? Okay, I just talked about that. Right. ISX Cummins, thanks for coming in, buddy. That's a good channel. This Cassius Kingfeller channel member. Have you heard of him? Check out his channel. Hey now. East Coast LTL reefer loads. What a nightmare. No, not these aren't bad at all. A lot of the stops you're in and out of in 20, 30 minutes. Then sometimes you get your ones that you get like two stops on every load that suck, but the money's pretty good. I'll say that. Do you use a computer with two or more screens? My computer here has one screen. The computer I set up for the new person has two screens. I'd like to have another screen. I'm short on space, but someday I'll have one. I'll figure out. I use an abacus and a large stone and chisel for my accounting. Ooh, I like it. The records will be there for thousands of years. Still using a facsimile? I have my fax machine sitting right next to me. As a matter of fact, I don't really use it. Nobody uses fax anymore. But it's scanner copy fax, blah, blah, blah. That's also what I'm doing right now to understand my bank's weekly market reports. Okay. Good morning, Mr. DIY and everyone. Greetings from Terre Haute at Casey's Distribution Center. Ooh, there you go. Casey's. Good morning to you. I have 3 screens that I got my gal Friday, plus my 2 computers in my truck, and they all get used daily. Yeah, there's a lot of tools. A lot of tools. Cool. I'm in northern Wisconsin. Oh, okay. So I think I missed number 5 here of the 5 most important things in your trucking business. Number 5. We may have touched on this already, but the ability to recognize opportunity. I'm astonished by the number of people that can't recognize a good opportunity if it jumped up and bit them in the ass. Truck drivers, and I'm one of them. I'm just picking on everybody else. Unfortunately, I've been able to kind of change a little bit with this. Uh, They let good enough be the enemy of perfect, or perfect be the enemy of good enough. If something isn't perfect, we're going to sit here and pick it apart and find something wrong with it to justify not doing it and stay here doing what I am, stuck in the mud and pissed off and unhappy. Because this other thing wasn't absolutely perfect, then this is just, good enough. Where you could take an opportunity and work on it for, put your time in and make it really good and turn it into something over time. Or because, oh, wait a second, I got a text here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just somebody just got their last stop off on one of them multi-stop loads. Load was it 9 stops? Everything went perfect. What was I gonna say? Or because a lot of people have these preconceived notions in their head of this is how trucking is, and this, brokers are screwing us. Got to have all this. Ah, that the best freaking opportunity of their life might pass them up because they can't even see an opportunity. Like, take over the last 6 months of how many people have you seen? I'm gonna park my truck till this gets better. I understand that. If you're teetering on the edge and about to go under, but if you're just making a little less money and it's temporary, everything's temporary. Hell, making a ton of money was temporary. Making less money is temporary. So you're going to park your truck and get out of the industry that you committed all that money to when next week might be the week that you met that person or made that connection or made that contact of the person that was going to set you up for the next 10 years on a lane or on freight, or a broker with the, hey, I got this load right by your house every week. I've had it the last 5 years and I'll have it for another 5 years. And you're just gonna set that aside, and because it's not perfect right now, I can't understand that. Can't understand that. Uh Bad joke. Okay. I don't Yeah, you're good. You'll need a second monitor for yourself if space is an issue. There are many monitor arms that reduce space. It truly increases their efficiency. It'll happen. It'll happen. Trust me. Just it's just been absolutely crazy right now. Yesterday I wasn't in the office at all. I was out. No, 2 days ago I was out all day, and then yesterday I was out half a day. Tested out a couple of TMS systems for free, then decided on one. I use one for the brokerage. I use Ascend for the brokerage, but I don't do a lot. I only did 3 loads this month. But anyway, there is opportunity everywhere, and this boy, go on. This Paul feller I have on from time to time, right? With Freight Connect. He doesn't. I've never taken a dime from Paul. He doesn't pay me to be on my show. I've said that a million times. People probably don't believe me, but he is one of the most valuable resources I've had in my business. He did in the beginning when we first met, when I was vetting him to be a part of this channel. He helped me get 2 customers. All right. Since then, we've exchanged no money, but the ideas we bounce off each other and the value he's brought to my business, and I don't make any money off of that or him, but I recognize what the opportunity is in having a relationship with with somebody like that. It can change everything for you. It could change me from, you know 7 or 8 trucks we have right now into 50 trucks in a very short period of time, based on the value that he has brought to me. That's an opportunity. Now, if I was stuck and said, "Oh, one guy with one truck can't get any direct customers, or customer freight sucks," or, customers take your contract freight and they give it to brokers. Yeah, nothing's perfect. Happens every day. Happens on the spot market too. You tell me brokers don't lose freight and gain different freight every day, or take a take a load from you one day and give it to somebody else who's going to do it cheaper. It happens, and it's part of the industry. It happens everywhere. Tell me where it doesn't happen. So that's an excuse not to try to better yourself or improve yourself. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Or, well, I don't want to commit to you know what they want me to do, blah blah blah, because of this or because of that. Well, then you're going to find the person that doesn't need that kind of commitment. They say, can I get some of your overflow freight? Can I help you from time to time on a lane when somebody falls off? Customers do that. They do that. They'll do all kinds of things. And then guess what? Not only are you getting some freight, but you're that guy they know that helps them out in a pinch when somebody fell off a load. Hey, Adam, could you come pick this up? Yeah, yeah, I'll do that for you. Oh, thank you, thank you. You've become that guy. But some people can't see that that's good for them. It's frustrating. Oh, over the last 3 and working with Paul and building relationship with a truck dealer. I've been trying to build relationships with this trailer guy, but he's not giving me any great deals. But you start to see, oh, this is how companies go from 1 truck to 50 trucks to 100 truck. This is how these things are done. It it's not always what you think, but at any rate, you got to be willing to recognize an opportunity. And opportunities are not always monetary. They're not always monetary, but they can be just as valuable. Absolutely be just as valuable. Who else we got in here today? Alfalfa. Good morning, y'all. Doing a 34 at Little America in Wyoming. Get out of there. Winter's coming. You'll be snowed in for the winter. How many trucks are you at now? So I mentioned I went outside the other day and I had 5 trucks in my yard, and I'm like, this is bad. I have just as many sitting here in the yard as I do on the road right now. There's only 5 guys out on the road, and I'm like, mm, man, we gotta get to work around here. But I think total there's 11, not 11 drivers. There's a couple extra trucks right now, but a couple of them are getting filled, and then I'm looking to fill a couple more. So there's a big difference between businessmen and busyness men. Ooh, there you go. Mentality will make or break you. There you have it. G Star. Would love to come to Wisconsin 3 times a week because brokers from there aren't too greedy and fair rates somehow. Did you notice this? Well, it's a good freight market. It's what Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois. It's one of your better freight market areas because there's such versatility here. You have, you know, dairy everywhere, and multiple different dairy products, cheese, milk, butter. Uh, there's the Fox Valley over in Wisconsin is the paper capital of the world. So you got a lot of paper. You've got what else you got? You got all kinds of things. It just escapes me right now. Oh, produce. Various different kinds of produce. So um, it's a good area. Freight inbound sucks because there's a lot of large carriers up here, and they suck up most of your backhauls coming back into this area. So freight is cheap coming back in, but it doesn't matter because, well, it does matter, but if your freight is here, you have to get back here, and you still come out better off getting back and then operating out of this area. And I have one driver that's been out just trying to be spot market Johnny for the last 6 months, and now those areas, chasing produce and stuff, and those areas have dried up, and just come to the realization, oh, things are always pretty good up there. So I'm going to start trying to stay around the Midwest, but he just had to learn it for himself. So he'll be doing more of that. Mark M, good morning. Adam, you're doing great figuring this out. Wish I was doing better figuring it out. If I had the capital right now, we could grow really fast, but we don't. Money is finite, but you know, James Clark, I set up for growth from the get-go. You just never know when opportunities arise. You still need to be prepared. Yeah, and I tell you what, when you start, you know, preparing for opportunity by a lot of things. Um, One of them is having access to capital or credit. Prefer capital over credit. When an opportunity arises, say somebody comes at you with a truck that you're familiar, you know everything about this truck, and it's a great truck at a great price. You can act like that. You can write them a check. Just here you go, give me the truck, rather than having to wait, line up financing and get that truck snatched out from underneath you, or a trailer. Every once in a while, you'll come across somebody who's in a bad way or struggling, about to lose it all, and just is desperate. And like, well, I can buy that trailer from you, you know, for I don't like to take advantage of other people's misfortune, so I'll let them set the price first. And if I think it's fair or a great deal, then we can make a deal. And it is not taking advantage of them if they're happy with it. So they might be happy just to get out of the situation. That's a great opportunity for you. Or even if a customer comes at you with, "Hey, we just picked up this new lane of freight." Um, if you're prepared for it, that's you got it right then and there, rather than, oh, I need 6 months to line up the financing for this equipment and find the drivers, blah blah blah. Um, no, that freight's going to go to somebody else. So being prepared for opportunities just as big of a thing. Um, Big Rigger 61, howdy. Thanks for coming in, buddy. If you grow too fast, you'll fail too fast. There's a lot of changes to a business when it grows than just adding new trucks. Don't beat yourself up. It is, and the number one thing I watch out for with growth, like I said, we could grow really fast. It's a thing. It could happen. The freight's there. Finding drivers is a struggle, but um, who the heck is that texting me now? Anyway, the thing I'm most leery of is capital management. I can't run myself out of money. I can't go too far in debt. I mean, I could easily just sign for it. Not going to do that. It has to be growth at a pace that I can manage, because I could outgrow this to where I can't even management, and then I don't have help, and then the people that work here suffer, and then they leave, and then I'm back to square one again. So there's a lot of challenges that you will face, that I have faced, and changes are happening. I don't know. I think I have good opportunities. Um, it's hard though. So here's something that, let me take a drink here. Getting kind of dry. Something that here. This will best explain it. Let me see if I can show this text message I got from my wife. She saw on Facebook. This will help explain what I'm about to talk about. Let's see if I can get that to flip here. There we go. Can anybody see that? That's a dude's arm with a tattoo. Have y'all seen this on Facebook? This dude got a Prime Ink tattoo on his forearm. And let me read you what he wrote. It says, "My wife and I are very grateful for Prime. They have helped change our lives for the best. We just moved up to Springfield, Missouri for Prime. Thank you for inviting us to the Prime family. The green is my first truck with Prime. The purple is the color of the truck I'm now in, and I became a trainer in it." So yeah, a Prime Ink tattoo on the forearm, right there. So I don't know if like Prime requires every driver to have a YouTube channel or what, but you notice they all start out gung ho. Prime is the best or the greatest. I got this truck. I'm gonna do this. Gonna make that, and then usually within a few months, I'm making this. Prime kind of sucks. They're screwing me out of this. They're not giving me any miles. My payment is this amount. You never find out the expenses involved until a few months into their channel, and they're unhappy. But they stay, or they move on to the next deal that is almost the exact same bad deal, but it's with a different company. So that's going to work out. That's going to save them, and just move around from deal to deal to deal like that. And then I offer a deal that's way better. Like their worst paycheck here should be better, as good as their best paycheck over there. But they'll still sign up for that deal every time. That is so damn frustrating to me. Like my monthly payment is, you know, right there with their weekly payment, and it's still got warranty. Um, they're not. Um, mm, yeah. Anyway, that's frustrating to me because they'll still take that deal every single time. So whatever, maybe that's the way it's meant to be. Uh, CJ Hudson, how is the company driver doing? Improving every day. Showing improvement every day. Wasn't Had no experience with reefer. You know, there was a lot of training involved. There still is a lot of coaching involved every single day, but just doing better every day, and motivated, ambitious. Um, there's some things that we have worked on that we'll continue to work on, and yeah, it's trying, because you have all these other things to do, but this one thing needs a lot of extra attention. But yeah, it's improving every day. I think there are plenty of drivers out there, but they have stepped away. What are the advantages of working for a small carrier after a big company has burned someone out? Well, okay, that's a good question. So people say, where should I go work? Where should I lease on? I have stupid things to say about this. So I'm never going to lease on to a company that has a name for things, right? I pick on Prime all the time because whatever, I can say what I want to say. It's just my opinion. It's not nothing factual about Prime, right? I'm entitled to my opinion. They got this training program called TNT. Once you're out of TNT, you're in XYZ, and then you're a BCB, and I'm never going to work or lease on to somewhere where they have names for things, programs. You know what? Because then there's this set thing that you do, and if you don't do that right, you're out or you're in, or if this happens, then this. You know what? Truck driving's too versatile for that. When there's a problem, and you can ask anybody, ask Fate Trucking, ask anybody else on YouTube that admits they work for me. When there's a problem, what do? We have a freaking conversation and we figure it out. If something breaks, we do what we'd have to do to get the freaking truck back on the road, and then we figure it out. Like, if you need me to help you somehow take care of that, we'll take care of it, and you can pay me back. Or if you need me to make phone calls and help get you in a shop, or that's what we're doing. It's not, well, TNT rules say that if you're a trainer and you do this and you get paid this and you have to pay this guy $150 a week to be your trainee and you get this, and the hell with that. Jeepers Christ, move some freaking freight. I tell everybody, pick up the freight on time, deliver it on time. Don't hit anything in between, and don't get in trouble with the DOT. And guess what? It was a freaking good day. Right? This is trucking. Things are going to break. They're machines. You're going to get caught in traffic. You're going to have whatever. Every day, every situation, every problem calls for a different solution. I can't sit here and put every scenario in writing and this is what you do. You know what you freaking do? You call me and we figure it out. Or, hey, I'm stuck in traffic, this, that, and the other thing. Well, you know what you do? You pick up the phone and you call, if it's a broker load, you call the broker and say, dude, this is what's happening. And you don't wait till 5 minutes before your appointment to tell them. If you see a problem a couple hours, you call them. And then you know what? When you call them back in an hour to give them another update. Or if it's customer load, you call me. Or that's all there needs to be. Especially if they got a hierarchy in the office of a 1-to-1 driver to driver manager ratio. That person in the office should be doing a hell of a lot more. If a driver needs tires, I'm gonna call around and get some quotes. Check my national account, see what the pricing is. It ain't that freaking big of a deal. So number one, I'm not going anywhere where they have names for stuff, because that's just another way of saying I don't care. Just check your manual. I ain't doing anything for you. That's a problem with this industry. Is just they try to take and you know it as well as I do, especially with the hours of service. This industry is too diverse for one standard set of rules for everybody. And that comes the same with day-to-day operations of hauling freight. Now, I do expect that everybody will do their best to get the job done within the rules that exist, um, and not this. Oh, I don't care. We'll reschedule that for tomorrow when you could have made it. Or I expect everybody to try their best and do a really good job, because that's all you're ever going to get from me. And if I don't get it in return, then that's a problem. But then there needs to be some appreciation that comes with that also, for both of us, that we both put our best effort in. Um, but that's one of the advantages of working for a small carrier after a big company has burned someone out. And the fact that when you start getting a paycheck, instead of having them dismantle your paycheck for you every week and find a reason to take every kind of money out, appreciate it. You don't have to say thank you, but appreciate it by taking care of your equipment, going the extra mile to make sure everybody here has experienced and they know that everything that they do affects every other driver. And they have all, and I'm pretty sure they all will tell you that they have seen direct benefit of what happens when you take care of a customer, when you go the extra mile to make all your check calls, build a relationship with a broker. I Funny story, and so we have this one somewhat regular load we were picking up in Wisconsin and taking to Minnesota on a regular basis, and we worked out a set rate for that lane. And myself and the one driver, and then another driver comes along who's self dispatch and didn't know whatever what he tried to call and book that lane for himself one day just out of the blue. Didn't like the rate, told the broker that they were cheap and that they were, keeping too much for themselves. And the the broker called the other driver that does it regular and says, "What's up with this guy?" And told him what happened. That driver called the other driver and lit him up. Said, "Don't you ever do that again. I run that lane all the time." And the broker was cool about it. She knew what the deal was. And but he told him, like, "Don't you ever do that again. We have a set rate on that lane, and if you don't like it, don't take it. But you're not going to screw it up for the rest of us." I'm like, "Well done. Daddy trained you well. Obviously you don't need me anymore." So, no, that's the environment, and that's the way it should be. It's absolutely the way it should be. So yeah, there's a lot of differences between the small and big. I guarantee you'll never have that at a big company. Uh, Snorlet says Trucker Steve had a May transport tattoo back in the day. Oh, I could never. This, in my opinion, the brainwashing is strong over there at Prime. It is. How do you know when it's time to add another truck? When I have the money, when the right deal presents itself, and I already have the work for the truck before I buy the truck. I don't buy a truck. I'll buy a truck without a driver. I won't buy a truck without the work. So that way, when a driver comes, it's just slide into here and go to work. Mark M. Then Prime PR team finds that channel and throws a lawsuit against the driver, and it shuts down quietly so nobody sees the bad side of it. Yeah, I have always wondered what happened because it seems like every week there's a new Prime channel or a new driver, or one goes away, or what have you. Wait until I tell you the insane conversations I have had lately. Oh, buddy. Snorlord and I share this similar problems, so we talk to each other as it's like one day I'll be his therapist, and then the next day he's my therapist. Yeah. Oh, I wish Snorlord would share some of the experience he's had uh, with brokering freight. That'd be hilarious because it'll justify my stories. You guys will believe me. Randy Curry says some will see the opportunities, most won't. Just want to complain. Next. Yeah, man, but like even in this down, so I don't like, to me being boastful or bragging is like not something people should do. I don't like uh pride boastful people. So, I wanted to say that before I say this, but this summer and during this downturn, uh I don't want to say we've killed it. We certainly haven't killed it. Um what I would say we've done well. In my opinion, we've done well, but I think maybe the bigger truth of it is I really think we've done better than most. And I'm I'm hate to say proud of that. I'm happy with that. I feel a sense of accomplishment with that. I'm glad the drivers are happy with that. That's it's had its rough spots. Don't get me wrong, but I think we've probably done better, and that is directly attributed to, and even the drivers will tell you, relationships and working to develop more regular freight. That is the key of why I believe we have done probably better than most people in our position. I don't think I've ever come on here and said things suck. We're going broke. We're like, there's no freight. This freight's been tough. Don't get me wrong, but I find largely it's what you make of it. The energies people spend on YouTube for 10 minutes bitching about freight and how bad it is could be spent making phone calls or searching online or there's more to life than DAT. There's more places to look for opportunities than DAT. Google is your friend. Um, Sometimes I'll just sit for hours and research. Who's the logistics department for this company? And I've recently found two of them. One we're now doing business with. The other one, maybe someday. I'm not even ready to call them yet. I don't have anything to give them for the moment, but someday I will. But now I know who they are. Um, so which one you're going to put your energy in? And plus, you sit here and think negative all day and how bad things are and they suck and blah blah blah. Guess what? You're going to convince yourself of it. You're going to freaking convince yourself of it, and then you're not going to try because you've already told yourself and convinced yourself how bad things are and how bad they suck. So it's you're building yourself an excuse not to try, and that's no way to be. That's no way to be. Now, all that being said, this is a way big industry, and there's things beyond our control and my control, and things could go south for me and you tomorrow. But not without a fight. I'm gonna at least give myself the best chance that I had, and then if I don't succeed, then hey, at least I know I did everything that I possibly could. Um, there's just no guarantee of success or anything in doing this. Um, Wilbon in the house. How about a tramp stamp tattoo if one of those companies? You have to pick a real long. What's a real long trunking company's name? Um, Masilla Valley Express or something. Get yourself a really long tramp stamp like that. You don't want to. You don't want one that's too short. That's good. You're keeping it above water in this market. I got to be honest. I see a ton of opportunity right now. I really do. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be adding equipment. In the last month, I bought two two trucks and two trailers. If I didn't believe there was an opportunity for it, I wouldn't be spending because I'm a very conservative person. I really am. Now, am I saying that to tell you that I think freight is turning around? It's gotten a little bit better. I honestly think we're in for a rough time this winter, like quarter one, like right after Christmas through January and Q1. I think is going to be pretty tough. But your opportunities are not on the load board. They just aren't. Now there are. I'm saying there's not opportunities on the load board, but use the opportunity of the load board to 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 meet your relationship and then take it off the load board, right? But don't stop at the load board looking for opportunities because man, there's just plenty. They're just out there. James Clark, my address is anywhere USA. I find those are the people that do the best. Is if you're a go anywhere, anytime type of guy. Not just because you go anywhere, anytime type of guy, but because of that mindset, you're generally open to trying new things or doing other things. And those people just tend to do well kind of no matter what. Now, that being said, I like to develop, a lane or, something consistent. But sometimes that customer will throw you something outside of your lane and it can end up being an opportunity. And you'll never know unless you don't do it that one time. Turn down the lane. Oh, that's not an area I run. Try it once. There might be something there for you. Ryder says, right when I ran spot market, I just followed wherever the rate took me. Don't know if that's the case now. I have one guy that's still doing that, but he's learning, and you know, didn't want to have that conversation up front. So I'm just like, okay, sometimes you got to learn things on your own. No harm done, but as long as you learn it. What happens when you suspend your authority and then reactivated it? Are you looked at as the same new authority. Uh, are you talking about like canceling your insurance and just letting your authority go inactive, or you can set your authority aside, just keep your BOC3 and your primary liability active, and your authority will still be active, um, but without the other expense, and then you won't be if you shut it off and reactivate it later. You will most likely be looked at as a new authority. Um, Anybody you were signed up with already might still have you in their system, and they won't recognize that you were shut down for a while. But anybody new that you set up with will probably recognize you as a new authority. So, it's six of one, half dozen of the other. Now's not a good time. Now is a tough time to be starting with a new authority because of brokers don't want to use new authorities, and then all the anti-fraud measures will flag mostly flag new authorities. So it would be a tough time to start, to be honest with you. James Clark, cost to reinstate your authority is $80 and usually 6 months from most brokerages. Yep, there you go. Shannon had her truck in the shop, brand new truck in the shop for EPU fix. They have the new one replacing the whole unit now, and then we'll test it good and call me if and when it confirmed that it solved the issue. Wow, putting a whole new unit on. How about that? Fate trucking, don't worry, you're a number. Aw, damn it. I was talking about you, Fate trucking. I was talking about you. Not in a bad way. Imagine picking up a girl and her tramp stamp says super ego. I'm out right there. Well, you'll know that she's Serbian. I mean, if you like a foreign girl, you'll know she's Serbian, or something. Fate trucking says use referral code I'm better than you. There you go. If I hire you and you use the referral code I'm better than you, Fate trucking gets some kind of bonus. I don't know. I'll give him something. Like, I'll super chat him. How about that? Paul Harris, you don't know you're doing it the right way until you try something different and learn it wasn't the right way to go. Learn from your mistakes. There you go. uh, to just reset things in case there's people tuned in that weren't here in the beginning. Looking for a little help. If anybody's looking for an opportunity to, become an owner operator, or you want to be an owner operator leased onto a carrier, give me a holler. I got a couple trucks open, and opportunity to run some reefer freight, and we could talk more about that. Also, if you don't want, I have a friend also that's looking for a bunch of drivers. Good place to work. Uh, Pretty easy job. He says if you can tie your shoes and write your own name, he's willing to talk to you. So hit me up, DIYsemi@yahoo.com. He's got way more bigger hiring area. They're a medium-sized company. Good people. They can hire out of more areas, and yeah. So between the two of us, if you're looking for something to do, give me a holler. I think one guy I steered that way. He's out of Savannah, Georgia. The company's based out of Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, and they just hired a guy out of, or they're looking to hire a guy out of Georgia. So yeah, good opportunity. Um, Ryder says, I'm going to buy a truck cash and lease on somewhere. Do you recommend any places to rent or lease a new reefer trailer? I don't know, I might, brand new. I don't do new equipment because it's too much money tied up in one particular asset. But I could at least purchase you a used reefer trailer if you're interested. Otherwise, hmm, leasing a reefer trailer from like Extra Lease or like a leasing company is extremely expensive. They knock heads off with them rental rates. So you might just be better if you're going to do that. You might be better off just buying it. But to get it from a carrier, you probably do way better. Um, yeah, because last I checked, it was some of the places wanted 2,500 a month plus hours on the unit, and then some even added on mileage on top of that. I'm like, that's insane. That's crazy talk. How do I get in touch? Does he take owner operators? He will. He will talk to you to be an owner operator. That's something new to their company. They haven't done it. I'm trying to coach them into it. I think it would be good for them. Get in touch with me and I will put them in touch with you. DIYsemi@yahoo.com. I don't want to put his phone number out on the interwebs and blow up his telephone. It wouldn't be right. I wear Velcro and can't count higher than 65%. Let's see, Velcro. Well, they don't. I don't think they make Velcro flip flops, so you'd probably be okay there. At least you're wearing shoes, and I think 65 is good enough. Be perfectly honest with you. Hey, um, I'd assume I'd need to shut everything down to lease on. I made it through this year, but pretty decently, but very concerned and less optimistic about Q1. Yeah, I mean, there's cause for concern. I will say, I don't think I could get you home as much as you wanted to be home. And we had that conversation, and I'm not gonna lie to you about that. Have a day job and working on getting CDL school lined up that allows me time to work as well. Once I have my CDL, I'll be another Wisconsin guy looking to own or operate. Mm, my insurance company has a 2-year experience minimum. Sorry about that. Dang. Well, you never know. 2 years, maybe. Mark Ely's in the house. What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming in, buddy. But my emails are stacking up here. Let me just see if there's anything important that I should be doing. I think we're good. I think we're good to chat for a minute yet. James Clark, 1,500 a month for reefer. You pay everything, tires, service, etc. Yeah, there's gonna be. They're gonna put like $2 an hour also on that reefer unit, most likely. On top of that, for a lease, you pay over 1,800 a week home every night. No, no, absolutely not. I ain't got it like that. Be straight up with you. If you're making that, stay right where you're at. Don't go anywhere. I was at Tyson in Waterloo, and half of the drop lot for empties was gone. Very surprising. Huh? Is that's not one of the plants that they're closing, is it, Tyson? I don't know. You looking for drivers? Yeah, Mark, but you got more money than me, so you don't even want to work for me. I think you got more money than anybody in here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look at the company you're keeping standing next to you. Are you hiring out of Des Moines, Iowa, in that area that works for you? Des Moines isn't bad. I have some freight that ends in that south of Des Moines or that Cedar Rapids area. Um, all joking aside, I think you have a very good setup. Well, I think so too. Fake trucking. Fake trucking's got a truck for sale. Anybody interested? Hit him up. Flat fee. Okay. No hours fee. Flat fee. Okay. Where's that? James Clark. Put the name out there for that guy. Oliver 80. I'll have to show you my pay stubs. No, I believe you. We've been a little back and forth about what you're doing there, Oliver. I believe you. I don't doubt you at all. Oh, Oliver's in here. 1 second for a wardrobe change, just for Oliver 880. There we go. We had to put the Oliver hat on, just because Oliver 880's in here. Now, if Daryl Worth comes in, I have a hat for him too. That would get my Alice Chalmers hat right there. See, I'm becoming more prepared all the time. I have 2 years experience waffle stomping. Does that count? No, but I'm gonna say you might want to clean out between your toes and under your toenails. After 2 years of waffle stomping, you're gonna get some fungus down there. Sterling Wheel Hood Truck YouTube channels are dropping like cylinder liners. Come on, there you go. There you go. Some of them are doing other things now, aren't they? I'm about to make huge changes to absolutely blow everyone's mindset for the trucking world. Stay tuned. Well, come on with it. Come on with it. I like to hear that. James Clark 1580 truck leasing. Where's that at, James Clark? Hit us with a location so that boy can find it. Georgia Patriot in the house. What's up, folks? Dwayne D, I'll come over if you can get Fate to shave that stash. Oh, I am. I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving that alone. That's for another channel. Oh, my help is on their way. Wondering if I need coffee. I do not. I have a shock. Decided to try one of these today. I don't know. I like that Rockstar Recovery orange because it's not carbonated. But they had these two for $4, and I'm gonna tell you, sometimes my frugality wins out over what I really like, making myself happy. Oliver says, "You sexy now? Thank you." It doesn't take much. Just an Oliver hat. I have one of these, by the way. That's an Oliver 66. I have one of those in the shed. I don't know if I ever showed that one with the sickle mower on it. It's not always about money. It's about coming in and building something. Whoo, yeah, yeah. I'm torn on that. See, here's the thing. I am my own worst enemy. I probably talk more people out of this than I do into it. That's why I don't get people, because I'm like, you know, what does your wife think about this? Is your wife on board? Then it's, yeah. I'm like, well, if your wife ain't on board, it ain't gonna work. And like all these things, like, I guess, why the hell do I talk people out of it? It's stupid. Great giving my lane away. No, you never. You got that. You got the one you want, Fate Trekking. You know what the other ones are. You're number one seniority on your lane. How about that? You've earned it. Even though you tried to run away from it and drop it like a hot potato about 3 months ago, I'll still say you're number one seniority on that lane. Tito's and Soda. Hey, DIY. Good morning from Atlanta. Good morning, sir. A cheap freight hauler, chug a lug 5 miles an hour. That would be my. Sorry, time for another wardrobe change. That would be my international harvester hat right here. See, we got. Oh, wait. I got a better one. Wait, this one says international slow. It only says international harvester. Here we go. This is the proper hat for that situation there. International harvest, right? Not the right color, but you can read it. James Clark, utility trailer out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Damn it, you guys. Damn it. You're going too fast here. Stand by for another wardrobe change. Utility. There you go. Utility trailer. I hope nobody has a Kenworth or a Peterbilt or a Volvo, because I don't have one of those hats. Ryder says, pass by Peterbilt and a bunch of trucks with extended cabs with kitchens and showers for sale. Guess they're not selling in this market. Go figure. Ooh, so I have a hold standby for confessional. Standby. Gotta stack my hats back up here. My name is Adam, and I have a truck buying addiction. Now you all say hi, Adam. No, I went to the Mac dealer the other day to pick up some batteries. Incidentally, found a great price on batteries. We were at Fleet Pride and they didn't have the ones we want, so I told the driver, "Why don't we run over here to the Mac dealer, because I have an account there, and get discounted pricing." 83 $83.99 for some Group 31 batteries, 950 cold cranking amps. That was $20 cheaper than Fleet Pride, even, and Fleet Pride was pretty cheap. So we ended up getting them there, and while we're there, driving around the lot, and I saw this truck they had there that was in their weekly email, and I'm like, "Ooh, why don't we just stop and look at that?" And we both stopped and we both agreed that's a moneymaker right there. That's a starter truck for somebody. That's perfect. It was a 20. It's a 20. Now, if you could deal with a small sleeper, this is a great entry level truck for you. It was a prime truck, 580,000 miles with an APU, 10 new tires. This had a DD13. It was a smaller one with a smaller sleeper, but 38,000 bucks, and I believe I could probably get it cheaper than that. But I got like trucks sitting in the driveway already. I can't buy another one. But like, my addiction wants to buy it. If I get these ones out of my driveway and that one's still there, I might buy that one and see if anybody wants to. It's a freaking great truck for the first time owner operator. Your payment would be like $800 a month. There's a good life left in it. An APU, the hours on it are pretty low. And if you can live in it for like 6 months, I know the sleeper's small, but like you have a paid for truck to trade in to get what you want. I mean, that's a great situation. But anyway, um, yeah, I have that going on. Stop buying stupid trucks, you idiot. Cash always gives me crap about how many trucks you buy this week. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Anyway, whatever. Sean Fairman, Olivers are popular around home. Some had cats in them. 3208. Really? Did not know that. Years ago, we had an old case that had the crank on the front end. Hated that tractor. Ooh, I do not have a case hat. I need a Minneapolis Moline hat too. Shannon says, I love this hat show. Yes, you call me the cat with the cat hat. I do have a cat hat here somewhere, but I think it's in the garage. On a hot summer night, we wrote Billy Bob loves Charlene. Oh, but did you write it in John? No, see, you got to write that in John Deere green. This is Oliver green. Oliver green's a different color. Snorlord says, I have a hat addiction like you. Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a hat collection. I don't know whatever happened to that when my dad died. I'm guessing somebody took it. But we had hats like companies that haven't been in business for like 30 years. Wish I had that hat collection. Welcome to Alan on Adam. My name is Matt, and Diesel is my heroine. Writer says, sounds like a great deal. Exactly. Business is about what you need, not about what you want. But it's about, you're right. But it's like, what other business do you start at the top, right? Come right out of, so in trucking, you come right out of driving school and get right in a $200,000 truck, brand new Kenworth or something with no money down, set you up on these enormous payments, and life is good, right? To hell with if there's any money left over at the end of the week. I got this brand new shiny truck. It's mine, allegedly, but it's really not. Till you're 35 months into a 36-month lease purchase and they fire you and you lose all your equity. But up till that point, it's yours, right? You could, hey, if you want, put fancy vinyl on it. You go and you knock yourself out, put some fancy vinyl on it. But anyway, or you could start off with like a $40,000 truck, pay it off in 8-10 months. Even if it ain't what you want, you make a little bit of sacrifice for a little while, and in 10 short months, you're sitting in the catbird seat with a $40,000 down payment on the truck. Maybe not on a brand new truck, but maybe there's one more step in between. Maybe you put 40 grand down on $100,000 truck, pay that off, rack up cash. Maybe you're a cash buyer for your next truck. In maybe 3 short years, as opposed to just finishing your first 36-month lease at $1,400 a week, and then at the end of the lease, you still got to buy the truck for $80,000. Oh, and all in that meanwhile, you're bringing home next to nothing because everything you're making is going towards the truck and all the incidentals they take out of your paycheck every week. Truck drivers are funny, man. I don't know of a lot of other industries where you one day you weren't in that industry and the next day you were, and you start off with the most expensive equipment and at the top of your at the top of your so-called industry. Um, Not a lot of other business models like that, and it's probably why there's such a high failure rate with lease purchases. Shannon says, I'm also a hat addict. Damn it. I love a good hat. Sean Fairman says, the Mac dealers around home all sold to corporate. The old guy turned it over to the kids and they sold them. Brookville was a good shop. Yeah. Where the heck is Dirty Broke, DB215, out in the Allentown area? There's some good Mac dealers out there, apparently. Some of the original ones, I think. Cheap freight hauler. That's the big hood trucker's dream. Looking good on the road, but no money in the bank. Yeah, and I know a guy who has a company of nothing but hood trucks, but he's kind of he's been having a lot of thoughts lately. I think about how much extra we're spending every week in diesel. Mm, especially now that fuel's $5 a gallon again. One, this hat is uncomfortable. I got to put a different hat on. That damn utility hat is too stiff. Um, yeah. So I don't like to be the guy to sit and bash on hood trucks. I don't. Hey, as long as you know the cost and you're willing to pay it, it's cool. But if you're pushing 20 hood trucks down the road, the weekly amount you extra you're spending in fuel would probably be enough to pay for two whole trucks, two whole aero trucks. And if you're, if your growth is your thing, that's hard to ignore. It really is. Scott Rolla, channel member, thank you. Hi, y'all, Bloomington, New Jersey. Oh, channel member. So I was feeling a certain kind of way the other day, and I'm like, you get in these moods where you're like, everybody's stupid, right? I was in that kind of mood one day, so I made a new channel membership. Nobody will ever sign up for it, but I thought it was funny, and sometimes I like to entertain myself. So I made a new channel membership level. It's $499 a month, and it's called "I Have More Money Than Brains." So take a look at that. I thought it was funny, anyways. I don't think anybody else will think it was funny, but I make me laugh. Sean Fairman says that hat is heavy like their trailers. Utility trailers? They're a little lighter than a Great Dane. Um, maybe not as light as a Wabash. I had my first reefer was a Great Dane. Well, my second reefer was a Great Dane. Ever since then, it's been all utilities because people get snatch up all the Great Danes up here. But I prefer a Great Dane, but I've had pretty decent luck with the utilities. Cheap freight hauler. Then when something like the vid hits, they want more government regulations. There you go. Oil is about to hit $90 a barrel. Fuel will keep going up. Yeah, that's what oil do. It goes up. I think you should cut a hiring promo in each hat. Ooh, I'll have to rehearse that. Do one with each model truck so it appeals to that certain crowd. Trucking and living on a 660-mile round trip, power only because of your advice. $1,500 a day because of relationships. Sucks working 14 hours every day, only 240 a mile. So the super truckers are making more, I'm sure. Don't be so sure of it. Don't be so sure of it. Number one, because we all know people lie. There's that. We all know nobody lies on YouTube, right? $1,500 a day is a good day rate. 240 a mile. I don't think that's a bad rate. Is it $3 a mile? No, but very large companies have been built on way less than 240 a mile. You should be able to make a very good living at 240 a mile. Would it be nice to get more? Absolutely. But if you could lock in 240 a mile for the next few years with, in a bad market, I call that a win. If you keep your costs under control, which that's the number one thing you can control is your costs. Obviously you can't control the price of fuel, but you can control your fuel mileage, the price of your equipment, the way you maintain it, different maintenance strategies and such can help get your costs down, the way you drive it. Um, always be working on your costs. You could be set up to do very well. That's a good, consistent lane. I would absolutely take a $1,500 a day, 660-mile round trip. I don't know how many days a week for, whatever, but I'd take that scenario all day long and make a ton of money doing it. And I think you will, honestly. Now, other people are probably gonna say, that's a shit rate, and let them have their bitching. Just keep doing it. It's that's a good situation. It is a lot of work. I mean, 14-hour days. That's going to get to be a long week. Maybe you can, maybe you can find a way to. You're going to need a day off every now and then, man. You're going to get tired. You're going to burn out. But Just do what you can. Maybe you can't do it every day. You can have somebody fill in for you once in a while, but that's a good scenario. It's a good scenario. Dedicated, even better yet. Even better yet. Sean Fairman, I'm orange Wabash, sides flapped going down the road. Okay. Not sure if you heard Shannon's EPU issue, but I got a similar issue. Dealership just called and said the system works fine. Told him to check it again because it doesn't cool at all. Yeah, I've had a couple, what, 2 or 3 trucks with EPUs and just haven't been a fan. Going way back to the ones with the gel packs, they would freeze a gel pack while the truck was running, and then it would, you know, use the energy off that gel pack. Um, Up to some newer technologies. I just much prefer my diesel powered APU, and I wouldn't spend money on that anymore. They're just 15 grand. Come on, I don't pay 15 grand for cars. For a little diesel, system is ridiculous. I'm becoming more and more the fan of strap a generator on, get yourself an air conditioner, and go to work. Son, you can use a generator for other things, block heater, battery charger, what have you. You can do a lot of things. Run power tools off it, air compressor. A lot you can do with a little generator. George Wilson, the oldest Mac dealer in the nation is Pozo Mac in Gary, Indiana. All right, sounds about right. Scott says would love oil over 150 a barrel. Whew, not me, not me. I'm not one of those in favor of higher priced oil. It's hard on the economy, man, and already bad economy, soft economy. 1,957 miles, 251 gallons, 1,280 RPM, 60 mile an hour. Detroit 60 series, empty, loaded, 26K in the box, 13 forward stick. What about it? What do I do with that? I loved high oil prices when I hauled sand and pneumatic because we lost our contract. No more loads paying 850 for 50 miles anymore. Yeah, I think Mark Ely was in that situation for a while where he's like, "Come on, $10 a gallon." When we were getting the fuel surcharges regularly back in a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden, fuel went to $7 a gallon out east, and rates dropped. Remember that? So just higher oil prices does not necessarily mean higher surcharge when you're on mostly spot freight. I be dad too. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. Um, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, oh my goodness. Scott Rolla, $100 from Syphilis Susie. Thank you, Scott. I will take your $100. I have not met Syphilis Susie, and I hope to not ever meet Syphilis Susie. I appreciate it. Thank you. You're very kind. You're very kind. Mark Ely says he is an idiot. Who's an idiot? You're not talking about you. You're not an idiot. Um, we talked about the help wanted. Mark Ely, rates are creeping up. Yeah, reefer rates are going up. So reefer rate rejections are up a little bit more than van. So that helps. We do the holidays. What do you got coming up here? Thanksgiving soon, Halloween, Christmas. Holiday freight is moving. They're just the last year and this year, and I think from this point going forward, they will move holiday freight early, and just because they can get it done cheaper. They've learned if we can inventory it without it, being perishable, we're going to move it so that we don't have to pay those inflated holiday rates. We had back to school food moving. I was reading something a couple of weeks ago. I think it was on Overdrive, or I don't really read FreightWave stuff too much, but I think it was from Overdrive or somewhere that inventory rates have come down. So companies that early this year, just before everything kind of pooped the bed, inventory rates were super high, so things stopped moving. They're saying inventory rates have come down. Their inventory levels, I should say. So some freight and businesses have decided that maybe keeping these high inventory levels isn't where it's at. It's not really what we want to do, which is the way it was before, the shutdowns and stuff. We had this just in time system. Uh, I don't think necessarily they're going to return to that just in time system, but they're not all for carrying these high inventory levels the way they thought they would be. Number one, because they're paying tax on that inventory. And they may be, throwing items away, too many things there, expirations or things, trends change. Maybe we took too much inventory on this and the demand shifted and now we're stuck with it. I don't know completely what their reasons are, but that's a good thing for us. Lower inventory levels is a good thing for us as far as moving freight. What it means for the economy, it can always be a different story. So, yeah, and I think things will be, a little bit busier between now and the end of the year. I don't expect a very good first quarter. Um, Especially, damn it, they're talking about the freaking doing some crazy stuff again for I don't even want to talk about it. YouTube hates it, but the virus and the mandates and stuff. I'm hoping, my biggest hopes, that people don't go along with it so easily this time. If we shut the economy down, man, again, we're done. We haven't even nearly recovered from the last time, and look at all the damage it's done to this economy. We can't go through this again. So we'll see. We'll see. I know in Canada they're making a hard push for it again. James Clark, I paid 150 for my generator. I think it's better than an APU. Air conditioner was 350, and it works great. Yeah, you can set something up pretty reasonable there, and be versatile. So many different uses. People are going on strike again. I think Saturday is a deadline. All right, then I'll talk about this. Freaking United Auto Workers can kiss my ass. Yeah, if you force why are you trying so hard to force your employers out of business or to just leave? You're going to be stuck with no jobs at all. Here's their list of demands: 46% pay increase, return to traditional pensions, 32-hour work week, end to tiered wage structure. And then they want uh, wages to track cost of living adjustments. Well, you can't say you want your wages to track cost of living adjustments and then ask for a 46% pay increase. You're out of your ever loving mind. Where's the money supposed to come from? Uh, Return to traditional pensions. Hey, that's between you and your union. Figure that out with your freaking union, because they pay the money in and your union squanders the money. So screw that. 32-hour work week, but they still want to be paid for 40. Why the hell should you get paid for work you don't do? And end to the tiered wage structure. So everybody has to be the same. The new guy should make the same as the guy that's been here for 30 years. I don't think so. You already get health care till the day you die. You don't have to go on Social Security in some of these union pension plans. What more do you want? What more do you want? And then you complain because they automate the plants. You're going to force them out of business or out of the country. You're going to be left with no jobs at all. How? What is the end goal here? A 46% wage increase? Come on. You already make a good amount of money for what you do with union protection. I believe that's absolutely ridiculous, and you're going to deserve exactly what you get. You're going to deserve exactly what you get. You're nothing but being greedy. 46% wage increase is absolutely insane. The legacy costs in these automobiles for union pensions and benefits is already just ridiculous. Their margin, their average margin on a vehicle is $3,000. On F-150, they make way more, like $14,000. So if they're making 14 on an F-150 and their average margin for the company is $3,000, that means they're losing money on some vehicles. Those numbers don't add up. Where in the hell is this money supposed to come from? An F-150 is 80,000 freaking dollars. How much do you think we can pay for a new car? The average person like me is priced out of the market. There was no way I will ever buy a brand new pickup truck unless I'm a freaking millionaire, and it doesn't matter. If I had 80,000 in cash, I wouldn't go pay 80,000 for a new F-150. You're out of your damn mind. It's hard enough to afford a used one with 100,000 miles on it for 40,000 freaking dollars. I don't know what I'm going to do next time I need a pickup, but this is why I have all those tractors. I'm just going to drive them around. Screw it. It's ridiculous. But I think you're totally out of line, United Auto Workers. Are you paying percentage or mileage pay or salary? Uh, owner operators on percentage. I have one company driver. He's getting percentage, 26%. I don't necessarily want to recruit for that right now because I don't feel like I have a competitive pay package for a company driver. I've only had one for a month now. Numbers aren't all in. I don't have health insurance yet. Wanted to see if this is going to work out. He didn't need it anyway. Um, I don't want to take somebody on and they not be happy as an employee. If you don't need health insurance, that's not saying I don't want you, but like I'm just saying I don't have it right now. So um, depends on what different people need, I guess. So yeah, it's all because I think doing reefer, especially multi-stop reefer, you don't turn a lot of miles, so it's not fair to pay somebody for per mile on not a lot of miles when they're putting the same number of days in. So I think they should share in the in the revenue in that way. It seems to be more fair for me. I think dry van, you put on a lot more miles, you should be paid by the mile. Reefer tends to be less miles, so I would put people on percentage. High oil and natural gas prices are very beneficial to me. Okay. Oh, you do some that kind of work? Is that what you do? I can't remember. You may have said. From what I've seen, dry van is what's really hurting. I don't know how they're hauling these loads, even in good areas, paying less than $2 a mile. Yeah, it's dry van's more of a commodity. It's the more specialized you get. Not that reefer is not specialized. Don't get me wrong, but like RGN, hopper bottom, your dry bulk. These specialized things, household goods, oversized, have always been these niche markets. Food grade tanker, have always been where more money is at. Um, Dry van is the most common thing that people can do. So you tell me how these companies, these 1099 companies and such, that are paying their drivers 70 cents a mile. You tell me how they sustain that with dry van rates being low. Buck 50, buck 80 a mile. Tell me how they sustain that. There's going to have to be some cuts or something, some concessions along the way. Well, or if they can get everybody into a lease purchase where they make enough money off the truck, they don't have to care what they make for freight rates. I believe there's somebody that operates kind of in that fashion. Do you think it'll be worse than what we've seen so far as rates and volumes? It's hard to tell. We have this little uptick right now, but the underlying economy continues to deteriorate. And that makes me skeptical. Like, when this uptick is over, is it a steady decline or does somebody just yank the freaking rug out and it just tanks? It makes me leery of that. So we will see. We will see. Oh, I'll take that phone call later. I bet they're losing money on electric cars. Oh, don't even get me started on electric cars. Problem is, manufacturers are selling a pickup truck for over 100 grand, and then the employees are saying they're not getting enough of a cut of it, and it's not their money. There you go. They see it as their money in their company. Um, Good morning. Hope everybody is well with both feet. Hey, buddy. Seven C's. Hey, good morning, folks. Good morning to you. Here in Illinois, 2 years ago, this a-hole governor we have shut down Illinois at the start of the thing because he said he has to follow the science. Yeah. My next load here in Washington Saturday is pumpkins doing in-state for 1,200. Only 45 miles deadhead, then 100 miles deadhead. Sunday pick, next load 3,200 for $1,200 for Tuesday delivery. Finally head home 4 days. That's good money. There you go. Delivering a van load today for $3.53 a mile. But that kind of goes against your name, cheap freight hauler. With a name like cheap freight hauler, I would expect 90 cent a mile Johnny. Remember that. Almost time to park the step deck and hook back up to the tanker here in North Carolina. Oh, there you go. I've often considered getting into food grade tanker. I have somebody I talked to who's encouraged me to do it. It's just it's a big investment, and that's something I would want to do myself before I decide if other people should do it or not. I'd take the hit on that one if it works or not. Scott says, I own 310 acres of minerals in Oklahoma. Ah, there you go. There you go. You got them. You got them wells, mining operations on your property. I think we've seen the worst. Hopefully, here's the thing. It's okay. So with interest rates, right? What about a year ago or so? They started raising a little over a year ago. Started raising interest rates, and they kept raising them at alarming rates, high rates, because it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. Well, everybody knows that it takes 12 to 18 months for interest rates to have the desired effect that they were intended for to take effect on the economy. So if you go back 12 months, that's when they started raising interest rates. Okay. So now, 12 months later, we're only feeling the effect of the earliest interest rate hikes. So we have another whole 12 months to go of feeling the effects of the interest rate hikes that happened between a little over a year ago and now. So we have several months going forward to feel the effects of them hiking interest rates at an alarming rate, fastest rate ever. Okay, so that can throw the brakes on the economy pretty hard. And then they still haven't really started to cut. So if they decide, ooh, you know, economy has slowed, we have to start to cut interest rates. It's going to take months going forward after that to start to feel the effects of that. So we got a whole period here of at least 12 months that's in question for me. Plus, the first quarter one of this year, we experienced deflation. Or was it quarter two? First time in like 100 years. Okay. We had a deflationary environment. That hasn't hit yet. Um, they're saying inflation is starting to subside. Okay. Well, that's only an effect of the interest rates increases that took place a year ago. We got a long ways to go to get through this. So that creates a lot of uncertainty. And then you throw in it's an election year and stupid things happen. So, and people do things. So a lot of uncertainty to me. I think what's going to happen is some people are going to do very well. Some people are going to struggle and go out of business. I think it is ultimately up to what you put into it. Whatever this next year is for you is going to be what you did for it, what you put into it. It's always like that. But if we're in a tough environment and you're going to do well, it's going to be because of what you made for yourself. That's my opinion. And it largely always is, but it's exacerbated in different situations, right? Like you can if we take off and boom into an exploding economy, well, everybody's going to benefit from that, even if you didn't do the right things for yourself. So, um, see what I'm saying? We can work both ways, and be exacerbated. And 410 surface, okay. Speaking of science, did you see the alien bodies that Mexico revealed? I did you see the thing in Peru where the people were like having a shootout war with supposedly with aliens? That's kind of creepy. They did a video, man. Weird things going on. I did a van load for $10 a mile a few weeks ago. There you go. I run butane and propane. Okay. RGB's in the house says, hey. Oh, my beef jerky loving dog is behind me. Here, we got to, pardon me, folks. Time for a beef jerky break for the dog. Here you go, Lena. She's a good dog. Cheap freight hauler, 650 miles, 353 a mile. How dare you? How dare you? If money is worth borrowing, it's worth paying for. Depends on the purpose you're borrowing it for. I like cash. I like being debt free, but I also recognize there's a time to borrow money and opportunities. Um, I don't think it's worth paying 8% interest to borrow money for a Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? Um, seven C's. High interest rates mean you don't have to overpay on houses. Low interest rates seem to make people go nuts and pay over ask. Ordinarily, yes. Around me, the housing market is still on the increase because there is a very low inventory of homes for sale. It's hard to buy a home around here. There's none for sale. So despite high interest rates, prices haven't come down a bit. In fact, they've gone up. It's ridiculous. This market is so screwed up. It's crazy. With both feet, channel member, by the way, $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Tip your hosts, hit the like, go haul some freight. Visit the website, DIYsemi.com. Uh, Check out the merch store for a Truckin' Don't Care About Your Feelings t shirt, or That's What She Said t shirt. I coined that phrase 60 years ago. What else we got? Check out the links and all the descriptions for some good products. I don't know. What else we got? Check it all out. If you're going to buy something from Amazon, use my link. I appreciate it. Helps support the channel because YouTube don't pay anything. No, YouTube don't pay what it used to. All these big, I'll tell you what, the bigger YouTubers are hurting a little bit right now. Their money's down. See, my money was never there in the first place from YouTube, but the people that were making their living off of YouTube are having a tough time right now. Hello, DIY in chat. Griff USMC. Scott says best way to understand inflation is 1965 was gold was $35 an ounce. Now it's is it pushing 2100? It's right around 2000. I don't know the exact amount. My helper is going to be here pretty soon, so I got to watch. Elections have consequences. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. Not always good. Who's emailing me here now? I like to use how many emails I get about freight every day as a good measure of. Freight Waves has got their measures, and mine is how many people are blowing up my email looking for trucks. That's what I like to use. And lately, it's been very predictable. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, book your freight. Friday is dead. Emails are quiet. They're quiet on Fridays here lately. Who else we got here? With both feet, wore my Trucking Don't Care About Your Feelings t-shirt yesterday. Guess I need 6 more to complete the week's worth of wardrobe. You do, but you could mix that up with a do epic shit t-shirt get you everybody needs the formula for success t-shirt. And then what you do is you wear that with your DIY leggings, take it to the gym, have a good old time. Have yourself a gay old time. Thank you everybody for the super chats. I very much appreciate that. Oh yeah, I forgot memberships. Get yourself a membership. New membership available with both feet. I came up with a new membership. It's $499 a month, and it's called More Money Than Brains. So, just saying. I just did an auto loan calculator on that 18 Cascadia I just bought. If I did that, I got to put some money into it. Get it ready. I put 10 new tires on it. DOT it, detail it. So I'm not finalized on a price yet, but thinking 55 to 57,000. So 56 grand at 36 months. And yes, I am charging interest on it because I don't let anybody use my money for free. I'm not that nice of a guy. So 10% when your average truck loan is near 20%, especially first time buyer, it's going to be near 30%. So I feel that's pretty reasonable for 36 months. That is a 1806.96 a month for that truck with 480,000 miles. It's got factory warranty to 700,000 with an APU and auto greaser, auto oiler, 10 new tires, blah blah blah. So I feel like that's a pretty good opportunity for somebody. With both feet, did he just call me stupid? I did not. But you might know somebody that's stupid. They can't just be stupid. They got to have more money than brains. So I offer nothing for that, by the way. I made that very clear in the description. I offer nothing for this. That's for just if you're like, duh, $500 in my checking account. Duh, what am I going to do with it? Duh, DIY membership. There you go. See, I like to solve people's problems. Problem solver. Scott says, I haul for 60 cents a mile. Nice. Old School New School says, it should be legal to fix stupid. You can't fix it, but you can just kind of beat it into submission. Um, you know, yeah, George is right. In 70, Nixon took us off the gold standard, turned the monetary system upside down. You want to see our monetary system turned upside down? Watch when they take us off the world standard for world reserve currency. It turned Europe upside down when they took it away from the British pound sterling. Can you use the calculator on a 202, 2022 two Freightliner? Mark, I don't know what you mean. You're using speech to text. On a 22 Cascadia, $149,000 over how many months and what interest rate? You're probably going to do what, 72 months on that? Probably more. We're going to leave it at 10% interest. It's probably higher than that. Oops, I screwed that up. That's $2,760 on a monthly payment, 72 months at 10%. So get this. So if you're a mega carrier, right, and you're buying 100 trucks at a clip, say you're buying a new Cascadia for $170,000. Is that a fair number? Does anybody want to dispute that? Give me a price on a mega carrier brand new Cascadia purchase. Somebody shoot me a price on that to put into my calculator. Anybody? I'll wait. Old school, it can be fixed by a high velocity piece of metal. Are you talking 225,000? Is that how much a new Cascadia is? No, that can't be right. Well, we'll do a couple different scenarios. 170 grand. That payment is $31.49 a month. So 31.49 times 12 divided by 52 weeks in a year. That's a $727 a week payment. Where's that rest of that $1,400 going? So let's make that, let's just really on the high end 190,000. Is that fair? Let's see if anybody threw something at me here. 150,000, okay. Old school, new school. I think they're probably more than that. Let's just say I'm thinking they're not what they used to be. I think 190 is way on the high side. You could probably get quite a few options on that. 35.19 a month. So 35.19 times 12 divided by 52 weeks. That's $812 a week. So where's the rest of that money going to? It's pure profit. It's pure profit. So, well, my helper is here. I have to pretend like I'm doing some real work now. So y'all, thanks for coming in today. We'll do this again. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.